Brilliant. Good. Ugh. Wow, I look like shit. Hello, everyone. This is this year's vlog about the BAFTAs. BAFTAs 2017. I did one last year. And I kind of just want this to be a tradition. I have my little traditions. You know, I like to watch The Crow on Halloween night. I sacrificed the requisite number of Hot Topic workers to Jeff the Killer. You know, just stuff like that. Just those little invigorating little things that you can do regularly just to keep things going, keep things fresh and interesting. I hadn't really watched the BAFTAs for a long time until last year because I started the channel and I just thought it would be important to try and keep a finger on the pulse a little bit more of what's happening out there. And yeah, the BAFTAs is an incredibly prestigious award and the Academy does a lot of great work, but the BAFTAs is the warm-up act for the Oscars. You'd be foolish to say otherwise. It's how the media gets its eye in. It helps you determine the trends of what is and isn't going to win at the Oscars itself. It helps just create the buzz. But this year's BAFTAs were significantly better than last year's. There were some concerns because obviously Stephen Fry was presenting again, and he was on much better form this year. Last year, a lot of his jokes fell flat, and then there was Bag Lady Gate with the winner of the Best Costume Design BAFTA for Mad Max Fury Road, and I remember I was on Twitter at the time for that as well, and I just remember how it exploded, and he got so much criticism, which obviously led to him leaving Twitter. And I did say to my friend Graham Swanson from 50 Words for Film, you know, how long is it going to be before he closes this account down? But, you know, he got through it. He was on a lot sharper form. He had some very funny jokes, and particularly some decent jabs at Donald Trump and the Brexit side of the European Union debate. He just seemed more comfortable, just more engaged, and he held the crowd together better. It was just a much nicer flow. And obviously, politics was always going to be a big part of the ceremony. This was always going to be an award ceremony with a huge amount attached to it. But the political charge didn't generate quite the reaction I was expecting on Twitter. Particularly in the wake of what happened at the Golden Globes with Meryl Streep. And she was there, obviously, supporting Florence Foster Jenkins. But I think the only major reaction was when Ken Loach accepted the award for Best British Film for I, Daniel Blake. A lot of people started going on about, oh, he's a left-wing loon. And quite a few people... I didn't quite understand this. Quite a few people said that the BBC should have cut parts like his speech and some of the jokes and some of the other commentary out. Because otherwise, why was the BBC being so biased? And I actually did debate this with one guy, because I've developed this unfortunate habit of poking the trolls. And I just... I'm not a scrapper by nature, but I'm just too old now. So if you say something which really puzzles me, I'm going to chase you on it now. And I just said to him, the filmmaking is obviously based upon freedom of expression. That's what it's about. And the BAFTAs is a ceremony dedicated to celebrating that. And if a film has particular relevance to our situation as a society, and it's, you know, it draws enough critical acclaim that it's worthy of consideration for an award, why shouldn't the maker of said film be able to further express themselves and what they were trying to say in the film itself? If it had been said on the BBC News, then I probably would have been a little more inclined to agree with the guy, because, you know, the news is supposed to be obviously facts-based. But an awards ceremony, this isn't new. Like, Marlon Brando had legendary stabs at that. You know, sending up a Native American woman to collect one of his Oscars in protest about how Native Americans are treated. The political charge was there, but it wasn't quite as amped up as I thought it would be. I thought there would have been a lot more controversy, but apparently last year still kind of almost has the edge. And there was very little in the way of surprises, I think. I mean, I liked La La Land. I think some people... I don't think my review of it really, demonstrated me having a particular issue with it, but I thought it was a good film. I just didn't think it was worth the 4 trillion Oscar nominations it's received. Emma Stone deserved her BAFTA. She was the best thing about that film by miles, so I'm really, really on board with that. I really wanted to see Kubo and the Two Strings, and that obviously won a BAFTA. I really want to see that now because I'm told that film is excellent. I still have no intention of seeing I, Daniel Blake. It's not that I don't think... There's obviously a long tradition of British film having a real social conscience, and, it's like the kitchen sink dramas of like the 1960s and stuff. It is a proud tradition in our filmmaking culture, but I don't know. It's just not my sort of film. But yeah, beyond that, of the stuff that won, there's nothing really I'm in a hurry to see. I hope to get around to Arrival again at some point, but there's nothing there which has really sort of stuck its hand down my front and really had a rummage. I noticed that Mike Carey was nominated for, I can't remember what the award's called. It's outstanding debut by a British writer, director or producer. He was nominated along with Camille Gatton for The Girl with All the Gifts, which was number 2 on my best films of 2016 list, but it was, in terms of a film itself, the best film I saw last year, and I do stand by that because it's fucking amazing. And he didn't win. I can't say anything about Under the Shadow because I never saw Under the Shadow. I'm sure it's great, but I really, really wanted him to win because his script was great. And again, I think this ties back into a lot of the fact that there weren't many surprises about who wouldn't win. But that film, Girl with All the Gifts, should have won Best Sound as well. It wasn't even nominated, but it had exceptional sound design. It was one of the best parts of that film by miles. The best thing about the night, by miles, Mel Brooks. Great introduction from Nathan Lane and Simon Pegg. Really great intro, really great presentation. And, Brooks is, he's really old now and he looks really old, but the way he sort of, confidently marched up onto the stage to give his speech, and the speech was hilarious. I think that shows the best of what organisations like the Academy have to offer. If they give you a fellowship, you've earned it. And then he proved that in spades. He proved that, obviously, first and foremost, with his exceptional legacy of films. There were plenty of little chuckles along the night. But Mel Brooks was definitely the highlight of the entire ceremony. I know this is I don't want this to sound like dismissive or unkind or anything, but I was really surprised that the that little bit they do where they say, our friends that we've lost this year. I really thought it was going to be much longer because, well, obviously, you all knew what 2016 was like. It was very touching, particularly when John Hurt came up. A significantly better ceremony. I would like to do a commentary on the Oscars this year. I don't know if I will, though, because obviously thanks to time zones, the ceremony is usually in full swing, like long after the time I've usually passed out. But maybe I will this year. Maybe I'll try and jiggle time and make a concerted effort to actually stay up and see what's happening on Twitter and get through it directly. But yeah, so that's just my thoughts on this is BAFTAs. Going to be very curious to see how filmmaking is going to evolve over the next 12 months.